Hi there. Today I wanted to bring you along to my home studio where I was shooting some products for a client. Now, as a brand photographer, most of the time I am traveling on location to a client's studio, workshop, store, office, and I am capturing portraits, the process, and some products at their location. So I thought it might be helpful to see how if a client provides me with their products, I set up my studio right here and capture some great impactful product shots that they can then use on their website, on social media for ads, print marketing, all the things that a business would need. Okay, let's jump into it. So first, the setup. I am using for this one shoot that I'm highlighting today, these oversized boards. And I'm going to link to the video on how to make these, but these are 24 by 36. I made these. I got the boards at a local art supply store, and then this is just some like wallpaper that you can apply to the actual board itself. And you can see I chose to kind of do this cement on this side, and if you flip it, you can see that it's darker on the other side. So I'll link to the video on how to make these, and you can, there's so many options. It all depends on what kind of background you would like. So I started out by just setting up this oversized background, and I also use, these are just brackets to hold up the background, and I will link to these below, but these simply, depending on, there's two thickness sizes depending on your background, but that just it attaches to the corners, and then you have this great background for your products. Now, depending on the client, they could want something light and bright or something darker and moodier. For this specific client, it's more on the darker, moodier side of things. So your background needs to align with their branding and how they want their products projected. So keep that in mind. So we have the background set up, and I'll show a picture here of kind of how the background was for this studio shoot. The other items that I wanted to highlight, so we talked about the brackets, some other pieces of equipment that I love to use all the time for product shoots. One is gaffer's tape. Now for the product, for this specific shoot, the black gaffers was great because it kind of, a lot of the products are black, so it kind of helped, you wouldn't notice any tape even if you did see tape. Hi there, back at it in my studio, still working on these product shots, but I wanted to give you another tip for today. First, I'm using this Aperture Light. This always kicks a nice little bit of light if there's an area that you want to highlight a little bit more. But I wanted to show you this. So I have this whole collection of these butters, and if I did not anchor these down, they would just be rolling on the table. So this is what I do. So you can see there's a piece of gaffer's tape, love gaffer's tape, that I can just place the product where I want, and then I can kind of fix and compose from there. If your client is more light and airy, the white gaffer's tape might be ideal for you. So gaffer's tape is always in my product photography kit. Then we have blocks. And I'm going to show a couple of pictures here on just the impact of using a block for your product photography. Just by adding a block and then placing the product on top, it just lifts the product off the background and creates such a great shadow underneath. So that is what I'm playing with throughout this studio shoot, is just bringing the product up instead of just having it always kind of like flat and it reads flat. Just that pop of bringing it up has such impact. And if you wanted to isolate a product and have everything else or other pieces kind of almost fade out or drop off. This is always nice because you can have that main product in focus and kind of everything else kind of drop off in the background. So blocks are always with me. And again, depending on the color of the product, the mood of the product, I might be using more of the black or darker blocks or the lighter blocks. Now, these are just common kids blocks that I had. So you could find these. I'll link to what I have found down below to help you out in your research. Okay, so blocks, gaffer's tape, we have the brackets. All right, the next thing is this Aperture Light. And I've done videos on this before, and although this is, geared towards a video light, I love this for product photography. And you can have it at all different intensities. There's a quick video I want to show you here when I was in the studio and how this can really make labels in a product pop. So let's check that out. Okay, so here is the little light. It goes with this diffuser. Great for video, but also great for product photography. So here's my setup. I have a light overhead. Looks good, but we just need it to pop a little bit more, and that's when this light is coming into play. So once I turn this light on, you can see, and it's only at 8%, that it really just gives those labels a pop. So this is with it on, off, on. It makes a world of difference to the end results. Hope this was helpful. And if you are planning a shoot with a client and you want to bring the products back with you, I have a PDF document that you can download below, a link, and it will outline all the products here. I will also link videos, additional videos that I've mentioned throughout this, and then kind of a checklist. Okay, so this is something that's always in my kit. Even if I'm going on location and I know we're gonna shoot a few products, I always have this just in case there's a shadow or we just need to pop a little bit more light on the product. I'll have this in my kit. It's so convenient, so I always have this light with me, and I'll link that below as well. Okay, so other kind of fun, creative ideas that I have implemented in this specific shoot, and it really depends on the products and stuff. Just a simple sheet of acrylic. This is something that you can get at a hardware store or a big box store, but you can even see in the video how it creates a reflection. This is such a powerful, really inexpensive product prop that you can use, and it makes such stunning images. So I'm going to show you a clip on my studio shoot day on how I had this positioned in the actual images as a result. Okay, so you can see just this piece. Now, this is the size that I went with. There are various sizes of acrylic, so depending on the size of your product, you can kind of adjust. But this is great for that smaller, bottle type image or product that you need. All right. The other item, and I got this specific for this shoot because I had this water shot in mind. And so I'm gonna show you all the behind the scenes of making it, but this is an acrylic tray. I picked this up at Target. This was the largest one I could find. If there was a larger one, I would have purchased a larger one. But this is the one, and it worked out great. But in the future, if I have larger items, I would definitely want to get a larger tray. And I know you can find these online as well in such a variety of sizes. But this was so much fun creating this water shot. And here's a clip on what I used to create with this. Hi there, in my home studio, taking some product shots, and I wanted to show you this water image. Now I have this acrylic tray. I have filled it with about 2 cups to 4 cups of water, depending on the effect that you're looking. And before I added the water, I took each bottle, I put a piece of gaffer's tape on the back where you can see here, and I secured the bottle in position where I wanted it to stay. So then once we start all the movement of the water, I know it's secure. Hope this is a helpful tip. Here's the results. All right, so this is that acrylic tray. We have the acrylic sheet. We talked about elevating the product with the blocks. We have the aperture light to kind of pop in some light. Gaffer's tape, we have our background, we have the clips. Let's talk about some of the higher end gear questions maybe that you have. So my main light, I'm using it in this video, is an Aperture Light. Again, I'll link below. It's a continuous LED light. It's amazing. I use it on videos. I use it for these types of videos as well. That was my main source. And then I would just pop in some extra light with this. Now, I was using my mirrorless camera. This is the Canon R5C. And I used both my macro, my 100 millimeter, and my 35. My 35 is on my camera now. So, but those were the two lenses that worked really well. In this 100, the details and the close-up shots are so amazing that I love this lens for product photography. Now, since this is a mirrorless system, and like my 100 and my 35 are the EF lenses to go with my Mark IV, that means I need the adapter since they are not the RF lenses. So if I had the newer RF lenses, I would not need the adapter, but since I'm using the EF lenses, then I would need to apply the adapter to the camera to then use these lenses. So this works out great. Again, if you've been looking for this, I'll add that to the description below. Okay, so now when I get a huge, amount of product for a shoot, I love to have everything organized. And so since there was so many groupings in this one product line for this client, I wanted to outline and have everything labeled, all the products organized, so then as I move through my checklist, I knew I was capturing everything that they needed. Okay, so that will be included in the PDF down below. All right, so if you love this video, check out this next video. It's using this aperture light, and I'm giving you tips on different ways that you can use this aperture light on location for a product shoot. So go check it out, and I'll see you there.